Clearly, India will not forgive. Now, in the latest update, we are learning and getting you pictures from Jammu and Kashmir where houses of LED terrorists, Adil Sheikh's Adil Sheikh have been blown up. At least two of these terrorist houses have been blown up and forces have attacked their houses in retaliation. Now, this is what will happen if you carry out terror attacks in India. Avenging the Pahalgam horror, we are getting the pictures there. As far as the houses of those butchers are concerned, they were believed to be at least 4 of them. Their houses that have now been blown to smithereens. And this is when it comes to the aftermath that has now been witnessed, because they were clearly responsible of carrying out these cowardly terror attacks where innocent tourists who had come out to vacation, who had come out to have a good time there, it had turned into a place of massacre and bloodbath. We have Pradeep and Yavar joining us live right now. In the wake of this situation that has now been witnessed, Yavar, if you can tell us as far as when it comes to this action, rather the reaction that has now been seen when it comes to blowing up houses of the said terrorists.
Well, exactly. It was during the cordon and search operation when these, houses have been blasted. Now, these are the two militant commanders of two separate outfits. One is the Lashkar-e-Taiba, that's the Adil, and another one is Adil Sheikh from the Jaish-e-Mohammed militant organization, and he is the key involved in the recent terror act in the Pahalgam. Now, this is the action that has been initiated, though the investigation has been swung into action, but this is the first action that we have been witnessed in the parts of the Kashmir Valley, particularly in the southern region, where these two incidents have been unfolded. Now it's a clear, because there's a clear to cut direction from the Home Ministry as well to crash down all those who are involved behind this heinous crime, as we have been reporting since day one. Now, this is another action that we have been witnessing after India's diplomatic strike on the Pakistan. There is a ground strike that we are witnessing in the Kashmir Valley as well, where these houses have been blown up, and the security forces they are eventually engaged in multiple investigation into this matter, and this action has somewhere sent a strong message across the border that we will hit you and we will hit you hard. Back to you.
Absolutely. And Pradeep, this is an example that has now been given. The houses of these terrorists that have now been blown up. Now the Indian Army, our security forces are coming for them. They're going to hunt them down.
Message is clear. If you are going to shatter innocent families, and we are going to blow your houses, that is the message that has been sent by the Indian security agencies. Because Amit Shah was their Home Minister, he had already sent the message to the commanders on the ground. Come down heavily on terror infrastructure, come down heavily on the terrorists operating there, and dismantle ecosystem of terror. These two terrorists, Adil Sheikh and Adil Sheikh, one of them from active terrorists of Jaish-e-Mohammed, other from Lashkar-e-Taiba. They are the one who are said to have helped these Pakistani terrorists carry out their brutal attack. That's one of the reasons that security forces today in Mongama area in Tran, and that's in South Kashmir, they blew their houses to smithereens. And this is a message that we are not going to spare you. Even if you will be hiding inside the burrows, we are going to get you out and take you to the grave where actually your real position, really you should be. And that's what actually they started doing. Because this shows that there is a zero tolerance policy of the government towards any kind of terror-related activity. Because in the past we have seen that how the terrorists used to operate, and nobody used to touch their houses, nobody used to touch their family, because human rights activists used to come out and they used to start beating their chests that why you are trying to target the family of the terrorists. But now the message is clear that if you are not going to spare the innocent family, we are not going to spare your homes, your houses. And that is the action that was conducted during the search operation Mongama area in Tral, that's in South Kashmir. You can see how they have blown the house of Adil Sheikh as well as Adil Sheikh of Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba into smithereens. And the message is clear that we are not going to spare enemy within India, neither we are going to spare enemy across the border. And that's one of the reasons you must have seen that Pakistan is completely rattled, because Pakistan has already got this message that now India is really going to act harder and going to hit them hard, because that is what actually India believes in and Modi government believes in. Because whatever they have said in the past, they have done it. At this time also, action has been initiated. Because earlier we used to see that they used to either seize the houses of those terrorists, they used to seize their property. But now it is going to be a strong action that we are not going to seize. We are simply going to decimate and demolish. Because these are not the houses. These are basically the hideouts where these terrorists come, they stay, they plan, and then finally they execute their sinister plot. Don't think that they are just trying to demolish houses where the family members are putting up. These are the houses which are being used as hideout for them by these terrorists. So that's why these hideouts have been simply
Well, this is all that remains now. As far as the houses of these terrorists are concerned, two of them who were said to be involved, clearly India is in no mood to forgive or to forget. The pictures that are now coming in from Jammu and Kashmir's Tral, where the houses of the LED terrorist Asif Sheikh and terrorist Adil Sheikh, Jaish-e-Mohammed as well, that has now been blown up. The forces have attacked their houses in retaliation. No more shedding tears for terrorists anymore, Yavar, because this is an example that has been given. Of course, the promise that has been given also when it comes to not just the two of them, all of them who were involved in the terror act will be hunted down. They will be neutralized.
Well, exactly. This is a message that has been sent since the day one from the New Delhi to the J&K. Now, this is a fresh example that has rattled on the ground. As I told you earlier, that besides the diplomatic strike, this is a ground strike that we have witnessed it first time in the Kashmir Valley, where the two houses of active militants have been blown up. Now, the message is loud and clear that whatever you have done in the Pahalgam, you have to pay it back, and you will pay it hardly. So, this is the message that have been came in all across, because the security forces are engaging in a multiple operations across the Kashmir Valley. Not only the borders that are being secured, but on the ground, be it in the southern region or the northern region, number of anti-terror operations have been taken up to ensure that there will be the complete all-out process that have been begun by the center, operation all-out, that will be, swift up and rapidly taken it up. Now, this is a fresh example. The houses of active militants, as Asif Sheikh and the Adil Sheikh, have been, blown up. But yes, this Asif...
Well, Yavar, please stay on with us. Major General Shashi Asthana is connected with us. Sir, what do you make as far as this kind of action is now being taken by our security forces? The houses of said terrorists, at least two of them, have been blown up in retaliation.
See, the actions have to be taken in all domains. And now what we are looking at, what we are seeing the impact is the actions which have been taken on own side of line of control. This is one part of it, in which everything connected to these terrorists, whatever was there, that is being taken into account and is being targeted, which is a good thing, because obviously even if anybody had any links or anybody was sheltering anybody, or these houses were connected to these terrorists, they have been blown up. So these are all demonstrative factors. At the same time, these terrorists certainly have to be mapped, and they all will be eliminated. It's a matter of time. More than that is the collaborators. I would also, we are also waiting. I'm very sure this time will very come soon, when the collaborators will also be identified.
Well, we are waiting for that information, that news reports to come in, Major General Asthana, that it's a matter of time, as you said, as far as when it comes to these terrorists who will be hunted down and eventually be neutralized. Thank you very much for your point of view. Wing Commander Bakshi sir is also connected with us. Wing Commander Bakshi sir, now as far as when it comes to how deep this infiltration has taken place, many of the experts are of the opinion that it couldn't have been possible without, when it comes to the support of the overground workers as well. They too will be hunted down.
Obviously, they will be hunted down, as you know very well, and I have been stating it on your channel, that we have the sleeper cells who are the main culprits. They are the ones who are carrying out all the job, all the attacks. They are coordinating with the Pakistan army. They are getting help from outside. And now that their houses have been blown off, it means a lot. It means now the cat is out of the bag. Now the government has to answer. The local government has to answer. The local police has to answer. Why were they there? Why were they not located earlier? Why does it take an army to blow their house up? They should have been apprehended in the normal law and order situation. And the machinery is there. So now we are it's absolutely clear. Don't blame Pakistan. First blame ourselves. We are the main culprits. Hiding them, we have to answer a lot.
Absolutely. So that there is no security lapses in the future as well when it comes to innocents being targeted and killed in such a manner. Thank you very much, Bakshisa, for joining us here on the broadcast. Srinjoy is also connected with us. Srinjoy, now, can you talk us through as far as this military action that is now being seen? As far as when it comes to the terrorist houses in South Kashmir's Tral that has now been blown up, there is nothing left, just smithereens. And this, do you believe, would be one such example that would be said? Because it is eventually, it's a matter of time that they would be neutralized.
Yes. What is happening now is that there is enough intelligence, there are enough forces, there is enough firepower, everything is there. So the idea is to catch all the terrorists, the foreign terrorists, and there are very few locals, perhaps 5 or 10, and about 100 or 105 or 110 foreign terrorists, mostly from Pakistan, on this side of the line of control, north of the Pir Panjal, south of the Pir Panjal. Now there are enough forces, enough military, enough paramilitary, enough police to get together and hunt down these terrorists and make sure this doesn't happen again. Also, it has to be ensured that the fencing in the line of control is in great shape and there is no infiltration from below. That is the IB. The IB has been an area of some concern because there has been some talk about terrorists infiltrating from the IB and then going up northwards towards the valley. That should not happen too. So there is enough resources, enough trained personnel to ensure that all terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir are sorted out as soon as possible.
Well, we are hoping for that as well when it comes to, when it comes to such kind of terror attacks that have been reported. And now it is time for India to respond. And it seems that the response has already begun. We are looking at military action. We're also looking at diplomatic strikes that have also been carried out. Now, on your screens that you have been looking at are the pictures of when it comes to the houses that was said to be of one of those terrorists that belonged to the terror organization Jaish-e-Mohammed, Asif, that we are talking about, as far as when it comes to the local operatives who had also extended their support with these terrorists on carrying out such terror operations, not just their houses, that were also terror hideouts as well. They have now been blown up. Now, this is the second house of the LET terrorist Adil. That house, this is the remnants there. This is what that remains of that house. It has been blown up. There is nothing left here at all. All of them reported from South Kashmir's Tral region, where this exercise that has now been carried out. And of course, when it comes to locating them from their hideouts is something that the promise that has been given to us by our security forces, because as I said, it's a matter of time now before we'll be getting the information that all 4 of them that they were believed to be the terrorists who carry out that cowardly terror attack will be hunted down and will be neutralized. Eventually, that will happen. Pradeep, now when we speak of such military actions that have been taking place, what example does it really set as far as when our security forces are concerned? We've been speaking to the experts as well. They have been saying that they should have already been tracked down by now, but of course, it's a matter of time before we receive the news.
See, there are 3 things. One, the message is clear. Chun chun ke marenge, ghar mein ghus ke marenge. And second, this is definitely going to send shivers down the spine of all those overground workers who had been providing these terrorist logistic support. Now onwards, they will be afraid of doing so because they know that what action the army is going to initiate. Because during coordinated search operation, they were looking for Adil Sheikh. They were looking for Asif Sheikh. Asif Sheikh is a Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist. Adil Sheikh is a Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist. And when they entered their house, they simply blew their houses into smithereens because they know that these are not the houses, these are basically hideouts. And from where they plan their sinister activity, from where they planned how to spill blood of innocents. So the message is clear. If you have shattered the lives of the families, we are going to blow your houses. And one of the reasons they are telling their soldiers not to move out of bunkers because they think that there can be sniping, they can be targeted, there can be surgical strike, there can be cross-border raid, there can be any other strike where they can occupy any of those posts along the line of control. So Pakistan Army is
well,
really
this is
worried.
just the beginning. This is just the beginning as far as when it comes to the action that has now been initiated from all quarters by India, whether it comes to the diplomatic strikes, the military action there, when it comes to the houses of two of those terrorists from the Jaish-e-Mohammed, from the Lashkar-e-Taiba, have now been blown up. The pictures there are proof, are the evidence of the action that has been taken.